Hello and welcome to this demonstration of Policy and Practices Free Benefit Calculator. This demonstration is going to show you how you can use a calculator to work out the levels of benefits to which you may be eligible, and also how you can see the impact of changing your working hours. To start the calculator, we press this button here and we immediately land on the first page of the calculator. We will need to enter information on 3 pages. Household details are entered here. Information about where we live is entered here. Information about incomes, earnings and savings are entered here, and then we can see the results. On the right hand side of the page, we have a summary panel. This shows us which pages we've completed, allows us to select whether we want to see the information weekly or monthly, and then at the bottom we have a list of which benefits we may be eligible for. If you have eligibility for any of these benefits, they will show up in green. You can click on them to find further information. In the centre of the panel, we have information about the income for the household and how much is left after costs for rent or mortgage costs and council tax. So let's put in our details. Got 2 children. Nobody else living in the household. And we can move on to enter details about our property. We put in our postcode and the type of house we live in. Our rent is £800 a month. And then we can move to the next page to enter information about incomes, earnings or savings. We're in part-time work, so let's enter our income. And you might have noticed these little green question marks as we've gone through. This tells us further information about what we're expected to enter in this field. Got no other income, so we can have a look at the results. You'll notice on the right-hand panel that the figures in the middle have been changing as we go through. This tells us that we're going to get 1,787 income, and we're left with 987 after rent and council tax. The benefits to which we may be eligible are shown here. So we'll get some job seekers allowance, some child tax credit and some housing benefit. We've also got child benefit and some earnings. These little eyes allow us to see further information about this benefit. So if we click here, we can see a little bit more information about our housing benefit. We can see that there's been a slight reduction in the amount of benefit we get as our rent is higher than local housing allowance limits. In other words, it's slightly higher than is allowed for the area in which I live. I can look at the information if I'm in a universal credit area to see how much benefit I would get under universal credit. And if I was moving over to universal credit, I can compare the two. So I'll have an idea of my income under universal credit. I can change my earnings to see the impact of working more hours. If I was to work full-time, slightly higher wage, I can see that I'd be significantly better off each month. I have the option of downloading a report which will give me information about these benefits. Up at the top we have a help feature. Again, the option to download the record of this case. And under this bell you'll see a little red exclamation mark. This tells us that there's important information about our case we ought to have a look at. So if we click on that, it tells us that our area is not functioning as a universal credit area at the moment, so we can't apply for universal credit. It also explains to us that our rent is over the limit allowed for our area. I hope you enjoy using the calculator and find it useful. If you have any questions as you're using it, there's a little help function down the bottom. And you can type in your question and we'll try and answer it. Thank you.